Number 12, Tim Ryan with Joe Clancy, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Jimmy Paul with a left hook caught Blake. And the knockdown count being administered. They did rule it a knockdown. Paul was trying to get close to Blake to finish him off. And so in that case there, the knockdown count actually helped Blake. But he is in difficulty. The opening seconds of round number 12.
Paul is putting everything behind each punch.
And despite the fact he's putting everything behind him, Ray, they're still very, very short punches.
A lot of power. Good
big right hand.
What a right hand, and Robin Blake is still standing.
Blake definitely slowed down somewhat by those two shots early in this 12th round. Still a little unsteady on his legs, trying to get some bounce underneath him. Paul, seeing that, starts to press.
Blake is leaving himself wide open.
Wide open, yes he is. And he takes two shots down the pipe from the champion. Paul just picking his way now.
If I want to be respected for anything, Tim, it won't be for taking a punch. Blake is right directly in front of Jimmy Paul.
I'm not sure he can move now, though, Ray. I think his legs just aren't going to carry him laterally. Really taking punishment. Another left hook from Paul.
It's just a matter of time now, the way I see it.
Round number 12. Blake fighting valiantly back.
And I guess that's what you have to give credit to Blake. He's not a quitter.
Well, and if his thought processes are still all intact, then he's got to say to himself, hey, I think I won a lot of early rounds. If I can just stay busy, stay out of the champion's way, or who knows?
Well, he needs some sort of a big break, Tim.
Under a minute to go. He's two knockdowns scored against him, of course. So those are 2-point rounds each for Paul. One here in the 12th, one in the 9th.
I have seen Blake before, Tim, and he's had a lot more punching power, a lot more snap in his punches. I don't know where he left his punching power. Maybe a little too much road work. Is that possible, Ray?
Well, the road work definitely paid off in this case because it's still carrying him. I don't know. I'm sure this fight, he prepared well for it.
Under 30 seconds or so. Ray, a point you made earlier that he's been in a lot of tough fights in a young career. Even in his victory over Adolfo Medel, he didn't seem to have a whole lot of power in that fight. He just was a real busy guy and simply outpointed Medel with a gritty display. Wasn't ever able to really hurt Medel. Final seconds of round number 12. The end of round 12, so Jimmy Paul, while he scored a flash knockdown against Blake in the opening seconds of the round, unable to put him away. And so Blake still very much in the fight. 3 rounds to go. Here's what happened early in this round. He came out to the center of the ring and took that opening left hook from Paul. And they called it a knockdown, with Paul, of course, having the advantage here, gentlemen. If they hadn't called it a knockdown, he had Blake a little bit of trouble. He might well have stopped it there. But he had touched the canvas with his glove, so technically it was a knockdown, and Joey Curtis called it correctly, and Blake got the count. Mandatory 8 count in the second course. Joe Barrientos working in the
shots go.
Corner of Robin Blake, and Emmanuel Stewart, 11-year screen, Luther Burgess, talking to the champion, Jimmy Paul. From about round 8 on, the champion started to press against Robin Blake and has turned the fight in his favor. We've scored every round since round 8 for the champion Paul. Even though Blake did rally somewhat in the 10th following the first knockdown, it looked to us as though Jimmy Paul still won that 10th round. Our scoring, of course, doesn't matter a whit. It will be the 3 judges, Dalby Shirley, Lucien Jobert, and Al Walensky, who will determine the outcome if we go the distance.
Tim, Blake is now back to his original fight plan, circling to his right and throwing a lot of left jabs.
Also seems to have his legs back a little bit, Ray. What do you think?
Well, yes, and he seemed to be pawing with his jab. He needs to put some sting behind it to make Paul respect it.
You know, Tim, this is the 13th round of the fight. Blake has landed a lot of punches. There's not a mark on Jimmy Paul to let you know he's been in the fight.
Scheduled for 15 rounds under the championship distance for the International Boxing Federation, the newest of the confusing to boxing fans to have 3 champions, but here we are. Jimmy Paul, a worthy champion indeed, and Blake showing himself to be a worthy challenger.
Well, Blake somehow got his legs back where they came from, but he has them back. He's bouncing, dancing.
Left jab, and right behind it by the champion. Blake having difficulty scoring to the head of Jimmy Paul. It just protects so well. He'll take the body shots, so it's very hard to hit him in the head.
What I like about Jimmy Paul, he keeps those hands high. Which means he's not that easy to hit. A very good defensive fighter. The hands once again of Blake on the drop again.
Under a minute to go, round 13. Left hook by the champion, backs up the challenger Blake again.
You can anticipate a punch landing because as Blake drops those hands, with the concentration of Jimmy Paul, it's inevitable those punches are going to land.
Blake has absolutely no power. He doesn't move Paul at all when he hits him.
Another solid left by the champion. Blake battles off the rope.
He threw all those punches. He didn't move Paul 1 inch. There's nothing behind his punches.
Final seconds, round number 13. Round number 14 of the scheduled 15-round championship bout, Jimmy Paul and Robin Blake. I now have the champion Paul ahead on my card, and of course he's got those two-point rounds working from the knockdowns in round 9 and 12. 2 rounds remaining if it goes the distance. The tide turned from round 8 on by the champion Jimmy Paul. Blake's still busy and fine, but as Gil Clancy has pointed out, not much effect with his punches at all. Nonetheless, scoring points by continuing to be busy.
It's amazing how Jimmy Paul can be just so patient. He just stays there and waits and waits and waits, like he knows he's going to get the opening, and sure enough, he does.
At first, you saw confidence in the face of Robin Blake, and now you see just the opposite, because he's been hammered by Jimmy Paul.
Overhand right landed by Paul. There's a left hook getting through, another left hook. He's got Blake in the corner again.
He's ready to go, Tim. Now observe his legs. He knows there's not that much spring to his leg. Solid for roundhouse punches. Basically now he's on instinct.
He has so much courage, Blake. If he gets knocked down, he'll be punching on the way down.
In the 14th round.
He has that head right in front of Jimmy Paul now, just on guts. There we go, nailed again.
Left hook by the champion.
Paul should pour it on now.
He never does, Blake. That's one of his failings. The fact even after he hurts you, he's not a good finisher. He has to finish you with the one big shot, or 2 or 3.
Paul just walking in now and forcing Blake backwards. Robin Blake continues to throw punches, but they're just being swatted aside by Paul, having no effect. Under a minute to go in the 14th round.
Paul looks as fresh as if it was the first round.
Another big right hand by Jimmy Paul.
Joey Curtis, the referee, is keeping a close eye on Blake because he knows he's getting hit by some big punches. Not too much bounce from the legs of Robin Blake.
There it is. Big right hand.
He's ready to go.
Another right hand. Jimmy Paul turned it into target practice here now. Pulling Blake around. Blake in difficulty. Joey Curtis races in, and that'll be it. It's all over. Jimmy Paul, with a 14th round stoppage, has retained his IBF lightweight title. And Joey Curtis over there saying to Robin Blake, "Sorry, son, but you just had nothing left there. And in my judgment, it was time to stop the fight." But I don't think there's any serious argument on the part of anybody. Jimmy Paul, with a 14th round knockout. Patient.